Okay, so I cleaned up my area, and you want to make sure that you dry it off real good, because again, if water gets on the fondant, it'll make it real gummy. So I've re-put some powdered sugar here. I have my black fondant and my brown fondant, and we're gonna marble it to make it look like wood. If you want it more of a marble look, you can also add white. But today we're just gonna do the black and the brown. So we just take a little bit, and you knead it to make it pliable. And then I kind of just make it into a little, almost like a little tube. So I'm gonna knead the brown. And then you take them and you twist it. And then you're going to mush them together, but don't mush it too much, because then it will just make one color. You wanna mush it just enough to make it different colors like wood. Sometimes the black is a little overpowering, so you may have to add maybe a tiny bit more brown. And again, you can also use white if you want it like a marble effect. Okay, so that's probably good. Make it into a little ball. Now, what you wanna do, my cake is gonna be 10 by 13, so you wanna measure the panels 10 by 13 with a little bit over, so like 10.5 by 13.5. Take your ball, and if it sticks to your roller, just put a little bit of powdered sugar on your roller. And you're gonna roll it out. And again, kind of move it around so you can get it a little bit wider. Now you decide how high you want your box to be. I usually do it a couple inches over how tall my cake is. And I like to do 2 layers of cake. So I think I usually do about 4 inches, 4.5 inches. So you're gonna need, the first panel is gonna be a little over 10 inches and then 4 inches high. And you can see real nice, how nice that is, that it's turning into almost like a wood color or wood grain. And again, you kind of roll it about at 1/8 of an inch, not too thick, not too thin. And then you get your ruler. Let me go get my ruler. You want to make sure that it's long enough. So that's definitely, it's a 12-inch ruler, and I want to do a little bit, about 10.5, so that's perfect. And then I also wanted 4.5, so that's perfect. And then you take your knife. So let's do the 4.5 first. You want to make sure you have it wide enough. And there's going to be some places that are wider than others, so make sure you want to go in the skinniest part, make sure you have enough room. So there's my 4.5 right there. And then we're going to go just a little over. Oh, we were doing 10.5, so we're going to do right there. And then I like to use the ruler to cut it to make it real nice and straight. And then the 4.5 straight. Now, if you end up not being 4.5 like up here, so what you can do is just kind of roll it out a little bit more. Take each edge. Again, make sure it's not too thin. Okay, so there is one of the 2 side panels. I usually use, it's kind of a cookie cooler or cake cooler rack, and just lay that right on like that. And again, you want to let those dry for about 3 days. Make them the same day as the wine bottle, then you'll be perfect. So then we're gonna go and we're gonna make the long panels. So if I'm doing a 10 by 13, I'm gonna do about 13.5. And again, the 4.5 height. You can add some of the other fondant that you used. And again, don't mush it too much because you don't want it to be one color. You want it to be marbled. Powdered sugar. gonna roll it. Now this one's gonna be a little longer, so you wanna make sure you have enough. And as you're rolling it, make sure you lift it up because sometimes it really gets stuck on the counter. Just make sure that it's long enough. That's perfect. And then start rolling out the sides so you can get your 4.5 inches. Okay, so we do the same as we did with the first panel. You just wanna measure. We're gonna do, and again, I always use a ruler because it makes it real easy just to cut a straight line. Not always are they gonna be perfect. Like here's a little corner, but it's totally fine because you're gonna build the box and you can hide it with icing or other fondant. So if it's not perfect, don't worry about it. And we're gonna let that one dry too. Sometimes the other side looks a little better, so I just look to see what side I like best. So we're gonna repeat that, 2 of those and 2 of those. And then once again, I'm gonna clean up my station and I'll tell you the next step.